Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So in the previous video, we already discussed what is data communication system, what is the network, how to define network, how to define the data communication system, and what are the components of the data communication system. We already discussed on the organizations that related to the data communication and networking or telecommunication. So in this video, we will discuss about the protocol and the standard. As we know, protocol is a component in data communications that can define as a set of rules that govern the data communication system. So there are two terms that widely used in the network or in the data communication system, which are protocols and standards. So protocol is synonym with rule, and standard is agreed upon rules. When we talk about protocols, that are rules that we use in order to guide our communication process or communication system. And when we talk about the standards, standard mean the agreement between everyone that we should refer to that rules. So first we look at the protocol. Protocol is a set of rules that govern the data communication system, and it defines what is communicated, how is communicated, and when it is communicated. Okay, that is lead or hold by the protocol. What is the communicated, how you can do communicated, and when you allow in order to communicate. So there are three elements in the protocols. The first one is syntax. I believe that most of you already popular with the word syntax. Okay, especially in the programming part. What is the syntax? Second is the semantic, and the third one is the timing. Okay, syntax here is referred to the structure or the format of data. In programming, syntax refer to grammar of that programming language. Okay, so example for the format for or syntax. Okay, first 8 bits to be the address of sender, and the second is the address for the receiver, and the remains bits are the message. Okay, this is the structure format of data that you want to send from sender to the receiver side. So syntax refer to that structure and format. Second is about the semantic. Semantic here means that each section of bits mean how is a particular pattern to be interpreted. Okay, how we interpret each section of bits that we have in our data. Example here, does an address identify the road to be taken? So the meaning of each bit is referred to the semantic. And timing is referred to two characteristics when data should be sent and how fast they can be sent. Timing is referred to the duration. How or when we should send the data, how fast the data can be sent. Okay, next part is the standard. Standards refer to the guideline to the manufacturers, vendors, governments, or any agencies, other organization or service providers to ensure that kind of interconnectivity necessary in today's marketplace and the international communication. We need that standard. Okay, for example, when you let's say you are the manufacturer owners. Okay, you want to involve or develop a cable. So you use cable with type C. For example, cable type C. So that means the other manufacturer also agrees that cable type C can be connected to their devices. Otherwise, your cable will not be function because there is no other devices that able to connect to your cable. So we need the standard or guideline for the manufacturers in order to come out with a product. So that we call as a standard. Agreements that everyone agree to use that standard. Okay, a model that make possible for a product to work regardless of the individual manufacturer. Any devices that produced by the Dell company are able to communicate with the product that produced by the HP company. The processor that produced by the Intels and the processor that produced by the AMD are allowed to be run in any devices that developed by Dell manufacturer. Okay, that example of the standard. And data communication standards falls into two categories. The first one is the factor-standard. Okay, this standard have been legislated through the widespread of people use. And the second one is the jury standard, have been legislated by an officially standard organization. So there are two categories of standard, either de facto standard or de jure standards. Okay. The next one is the organizations that related to the standard in the field of data communication, network, telecommunication. Okay, example here, one of the organization that really related to this data communication is ISO, which refer to the International Standard Organization. This is the organization that dedicated to the worldwide agreement on international standard in a variety of fields. IAO standard. Okay, you can search more about the ISO. There are a lot of standards based on the ISO. And later on you will learn about the OSI model, and that model is founded or come out or developed by the ISO. The second organization we have ITU-T, ITU-T, the International Telecommunication Union dash Telecommunication Standard. Okay, this is also one organization or international standard organization that develop standard that for the telecommunications company or the use for the telecommunication. Okay, ITU. This is the organization for the telecommunication. Okay, the next organization is ANSI, the American National Standard Institute. Okay, this is a organization that representative to the both of ISO and ITU-T organization. This is non-profit organization. And the next one we have IEEE. I believe most of you already heard about the IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, IEEE. Why electrical and electronic engineer involved in data communication system? Because all the communication system is related to the electronic part and signal. Okay, the largest national professional group involved in the developing standard for computing, communication, engineering, and electronic. In other some university, data communication and networking is being put under electrical and electronic faculty. Because in electrical and electronic faculty, they have a specific some of them have specific on the telecommunication, and under the telecommunication we have the networking, right? Okay, the next organization we have the Electronic Industry Association. Once again, electronics industry or in electronic association or organization involved in the data communication. So in short name we call as EIA. So this is an association of electronic manufacturers in US. This organization is responsible for developing the EIA standards. Next one, we have the FCC, the Federal Communication Commission. Okay, this organization has the authority to approve every piece of communication technology. So there are the rules for this standard organization. So that's all for chapter 1. We already know what is the concept of data communications, what are the components, how effective of a data communication system can be measured, what is the data flow, what are the data that we can represent when we want to communicate. And then we also learn about the network, computer network, the criteria of the network, the physical structure, what is the topology, the type of network, LAN, MAN, WAN. And the third part we already learned about the protocol, standard, and organization that related to the standard in data communication system. So that's all for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you again.